The graph depicts data from the Arctic and Antarctic regions. For example, we can clearly identify the Arctic in this graph, and we can determine it is located atop Earth by seeing it from above. We can observe the yearly average temperature and that the Arctic is rapidly cooling. In the Arctic, we may witness species such as polar bears, who devour seals in great numbers. When looking at the top of the picture, we can clearly see Antarctica, and we can see Antarctica is at the bottom of the Earth, as shown in the graph. Penguins may be seen in Antarctica despite its frigid status as the world's southernmost continent. We can tell how few people live in Antarctica because of its sparse population. This is a helpful image at the end. The given image is of dual-line graph getting us an important piece of information on the average sizes of classrooms in the United Kingdom. The period of observation is from 1994 to 2006. While we have years mentioned on the x-axis, the y-axis mentions the average class sizes ranging from 19 to 29. The primary class is marked with greenish dotted line whereas the secondary is with purple. While both the lines run almost parallel, the primary class size had increased a little bit in 1998. The secondary line does not have ups and downs. Overall, we can conclude that both the lines remain constant at their own places. From 2000 to 2005, this graph depicts data on the factors contributing to deforestation in the Brazilian Amazon. There can be no doubt about it from the graph that cattle grazing accounts for 65 to 70% of the workforce. Second only to large-scale farming is small-scale farming, which accounts for between 20 and 25% of the total. The graph clearly shows that the smallest percentage, 1 to 2%, may be found in other. Logging has a logging rate of 2 to 3%. Large-scale agriculture has a rate of 5 to 10% of the total. There are many reasons for deforestation, and this graph illustrates them. Women's and men's occupations are depicted in pie charts. Most women, 31%, go into non-manual careers like clerical or related ones, as seen in the pie chart on the left. Work as a general laborer is one of the least appealing career paths for women. Most males, 36%, have managerial and professional positions that are also non-manual, according to the pie chart on the right side. General laborer occupations are among the least appealing to men, just as they are to women. Non-manual jobs are the most common for both men and women, whereas general laborer positions are the least common. For a year, the charts show Papua New Guinea and Port Moresby's rain and temperature patterns. The year's average temperature was 27 degrees, with a decrease to 25 degrees in July and August. Between 180 to 200 millimeters of rain fell between January and March, with the driest months being July and August, with just 25 millimeters of rain. Since January to March is rainy season, temperatures have stayed consistent throughout the year. The city of Delhi continues to be concerned about rising pollution levels. According to a Beijing pollution source, Arkapuram had 985 micrograms per cubic meter of particle matter in the air at 9:20 p.m. during Diwali. At 3 a.m. and 2 a.m., respectively, Anand Vihar and Punjabi Ba recorded 758 and 853 microgram/m3 of particle matter. When compared to other filthy cities throughout the world, Shenyang, 1,157, and Beijing are not far behind, 722. Singapore, 471, on the other hand, falls considerably behind in this respect. This graphic depicts the layout of a two-bedroom apartment in the heart of the city's tech district, which is around 677 square feet in size. The huge living room can be seen from the apartment's front door. The kitchen and eating area are situated to the right of the living room. The flat has only one bathroom for everyone's use. Both bedrooms feature built-in closets, despite the fact that one is larger than the other. In addition, the living room has a closet and a storage cabinet. This floor plan image may be used to promote an apartment, whether it is for rent or for sale, in its entirety. From 2003 to 2012, the number of severe weather days recorded on this map of the United States. Severe weather occurs just once or twice a year in the western part of the United States, but the Midwest and East Coast experience 20 to 30 days each year. Overall, the East Coast of the United States experiences more severe weather days than the West Coast. Australia's biggest cities are depicted on this map. Darwin, Cairns, and Townsville are some of the northern cities in Australia. South Australia has three major cities: Adelaide, Melbourne, Perth. Located on Tasmania's island, Hobart is the state's southernmost metropolis. Australian territory is bordered by three other oceans: the Indian, Great Australian Bight, and Coral Sea. A wide range of large cities may be found throughout Australia. Obesity is still a big issue in many wealthy nations today. The United States has the greatest percentage of obese persons, 74.1%, followed by New Zealand, 68.4%. Then there's Australia and the United Kingdom, with 67.4 and 63.8 points, respectively. Canada is fifth on the list, with 61.1% of its population fat, while Ireland is sixth, with 46.6% of its population obese. HAD-CM3 model, IPCC says a 2 scenario is identified on the map picture. Most of the top or northern section of the continent, as well as certain areas in the south, are painted grey, indicating that the terrain is unsuitable for cereal production. The center of the map is shaded off-white, indicating that there has been no or minimal change in cereal output. The uppermost section, as well as other areas in the south, are red, indicating a -50% reduction in production. The green tones are strewn around the globe, indicating a 5 to 25% rise. Overall, the map depicts a patchwork of data on cereal output. The graph below depicts information on the world's tropical rainforests. North America, South America, Europe, Africa, and Australia are all continents, as seen on the map. Tropical rainforests, on the other hand, can only be found in the northern half of South America, a middle section of Africa, and the Philippines. Borneo and New Guinea are two countries in Southeast Asia. Finally, we can observe that tropical rainforests are primarily found towards the equator. The given image represents the process of how one can listen to his or her favorite music on Tesco Extra. The process is pretty simple and explained in 4 major yet easy steps. The very first step mentioned is to search for your favorite music. Once you find it, you need to purchase the soundtrack. Once purchased, the portal of Tesco Extra will offer you a download, and after that, you can listen to the music you have downloaded. Overall, I can definitely say that out of various portals that offer choicest soundtracks for free, it is clear from the image that Tesco Extra is a paid music service. The pie charts compare home ownership and renting for 1991 and 2007. In 1991, a homeowner was the most popular type of housing, accounting for almost 60%, or more than over half of all homes. The next largest sector was social rented homes, amounting to approximately 23% or nearly 1/3 of homes. The remaining homes were mostly privately rented, 11%, with a tiny fraction being social housing, 6%. 16 years later, in 2007, the number of homeowners had risen to 70% or almost 3/4 of all homes. This was an increase of 10% compared with 1991. The percentage of privately rented homes had remained unchanged at 11%. However, there were 5 million more homes in 2007 compared with 1991, so the number of rented homes had increased despite the same percentage. In this photograph, a few youngsters are watching a 3D movie in the theater. All are engrossed in a particular scene. Popcorns and cold drinks can be seen in the photograph. They look enthralled at a particular scene according to their reactions. Especially the boy and girl at the front are astonished. Only a few seats are occupied, as many seats can be seen vacant. All are wearing 3D glasses, so it must be a 3D movie. The following graph depicts the planting process. The first phase, as shown in the diagram, is radiating pine thinning. After that, the debarking drum is the next stage. The next process involves a chipper that may chip the plantation. The thermomechanical refiner follows, which requires water to work. Finally, there's the paper-making machine, which brings the entire paper-making process to a close. Finally, this graph is quite useful. The internet population is depicted graphically in this figure. According to the graph, China has the highest number, which is around 175 people. The graph shows that the United States has the second highest number, at about 165. It is plain to observe that Mexico and the Netherlands have the fewest amount, which is approximately 15. As a result, China's internet population dwarfs that of the United States. More people in the United States are online than in Mexico or the Netherlands. The bar graph shows TV watching habits among children of different age groups. The age group 5 to 7 watches TV for approximately 7 hours, whereas children in the age group 8 to 10 watch TV for around 8 hours a day. The age group which watches less TV in a day is age group 11 to 13. The children of this age group watch TV for 4 hours. So overall, the age group 8 to 10 watches more TV as compared to other groups. The yearly salary of baseball, football, and basketball players from 1970 to 2000 are shown in this graph, which is expressed in US dollars. Players in the sports of baseball, football, and basketball made an average yearly salary of $100,000 in 1970. Basketball players, on the other hand, had the highest yearly income in 2000, at $2.4 million. Major League Baseball, MLB, players earned an average salary of $1.6 million per year. The lowest paid athletes in the NFL made an average of $750,000 a year. Basketball players earned the most money per year in 2000, while football players earned the least. An informative multiple-line graph shows the worrying condition of the total greenhouse gas emissions in the United Kingdom. There are 3 lines that depict the actual emissions, the projected range, and the target of gas emissions in a million tons. While it is a relief that the actual emission had dropped significantly from around 750 million tons in 1990 to little below 650 million tons in 2000, it is very surprising to mark that the projected range then shoots up and touches the mark of 680 million tons. The actual target set is around 640 million tons. To sum this all up, we can say that the gas equivalent to carbon dioxide would rise instead of falling.